Hello and welcome back to Lorcana Villain. My name is Baker, and today is our next interview on the channel. I had the opportunity to sit down one-on-one with the newest DLC champion of Milwaukee and the only two-time DLC champion, Frank Karsten. We talk about a whole lot, so I do want to get basically straight into it, but before we do, I do want to make an announcement. You may have already heard this if you watched my live stream the other day, whether live or if you've watched back the VOD, that the channel is now under new sponsorship. I want to give a huge thank you to Card Market, who have been the sponsors of the channel basically since its inception. I'm very grateful to them for believing in me and giving me an opportunity as the first sponsors on the channel, but we are going to be going in different directions. I wish Card Market all the best, and I will continue to recommend them for buying singles, but I'm also very excited to announce that the brand new channel sponsor is going to be Matified, who specialize in custom playmats. I am planning on making an entire ad video lasting 30 to 45 seconds, which will be a reoccurring thing shown in videos right at the beginning as we move forward, but I don't have that ready yet, and this is a long interview, so I don't want to detract too much from that, but I do want to give a shout out to Matified. Do check them out if you're looking for custom playmats. But with that being said, we're going to get into the interview with Mr. Frank Karsten. And as promised, I bring you the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only first ever two-time DLC champion. We have the champion of Milwaukee, Mr. Frank Karsten! Mr. Karsten, thank you so much for taking some time out of your very busy schedule to join me once again in the lair. What an honor for me. This is actually, I think, the third time I've had you on. I had you on for a one-on-one interview a long time ago after you won Lil, which was such an honor for me. Again, my channel was in its super early stages, so I'll always be really grateful to you for giving me that time post-Lil. I believe we had you on for a group podcast, and now post-Milwaukee, we have you again. It is such an honor. Most people are going to know who Mr. Frank Karsten is, and I would have done a synopsis at the beginning of the video, so I do want to get largely straight into things. But before we do, how are you feeling, Frank? It's been a few days post Milwaukee. Are you over the jet lag? Have you been partying hard? What does the journey from being crown champion up till now look like for you?
Well, thank you for having me again, Baker. Always a pleasure. And well, for me, it has been a completely wild ride. I mean, it just feels incredible. Like winning the very first Disney Lorcana challenge already felt special, right? Then I got this trophy over here, and well, all of a sudden, I am now the first two-time champion of the whole circuit, with another trophy to add. Even like qualifying for back-to-back World Championships, it just feels surreal. And I'm both grateful for like all the friends I've tested with and the community that I was able to celebrate my victory with together. And also at the same time, I gotta say I am exhausted. The tournament ended around midnight on Sunday. It was two grueling days of hard-fought competition, then followed by some fun celebrations. Flying back from the United States to the Netherlands and arriving back home also for like an entire heap of work. My days are completely packed, so I don't know how I even like managed to fit all of it in, because like I play Lorcana, but I'm also involved with like Magic the Gathering for both games. Like a new set is coming out.
Cool.
Like I'm working event coverage of a Magic event this weekend. I haven't really had a chance to truly like settle down and let it all sink in. It's still in let's say running mode, but overall it does feel incredible.
No, absolutely. I do want to say, like, seeing your two trophies. I don't know if you're familiar with it's like it's a famous sound effect that people use for like TikToks and memes, where it's like, okay, I'll just get one. Okay, like it's fine, I can afford it. But wait, what if he needs a friend? I need to get another one because like you need someone to talk to. And then it's and you know what? Maybe they get bored of each other. They need a third guy. And I feel like you're doing that with Disney Lorcana trophies. You looked at the first one, you were like, he needs a friend, and next it's they're going to fall out, and you're going to be like, well, we need a third guy to come in. So I'm looking forward to seeing the ever-growing trophy cabinet of Mr. Frank Karsten. But yeah, again, just speaking to how busy you've been, the event was absolutely a long one. I remember I was there and heard you say in the post, in the interview when we were crowning you champion, that your brain was completely fried, cooked, mashed, all of the above. And I do not blame you. Again, as we get into talking about the deck list, you're going to give us a few insights that are probably gonna, even for those of us that have like maybe had the last 3 days off, I think our brains are going to be cooked. But I'm looking forward to hearing some of your insights. And you're going to be in Liverpool for this Magic the Gathering event coming up. I do believe you're in the UK, Frank.
I'll be flying over to your country in a bit.
Amazing. That being said, Mr. Karsten, your time is precious, so I would like to get into the meat and potatoes of it. So, you played a deck at DLC Milwaukee that I would not have called at all. But I remember I read someone tweeted something along the lines of, I feel like Frank is the sort of player who could leave his deck on the table. And when we were looking at it to see if we could find who it belonged to, we could tell it would be yours just from the amount of one-offs. And I do believe that's come a bit of a catchphrase for you at this point. You do like some one-offs. So what I'd like to ask you is, I know you were on Podcana recently, and do go check out that episode for even more insights into Mr. Karsten and the run-up to DLC in Milwaukee. And I would like to ask if you'd recover some of that ground, and perhaps some people haven't had a chance to check out that episode. So I'd like you to talk us through the testing stage that led up to you submitting this 60 cards to DLC Milwaukee. Obviously, we had Bologna a few weeks previous, where you also played. So I imagine that event also contributed towards your overall testing. So at whichever point you think most poignant, leading up to Milwaukee, could you talk to us through the stages that led up to this deck list, please?
Yeah, I would be happy to. It's been a fun journey. Basically, I would say it started early September after the release of Fabled, where I just started off with a normal aggregate Amethyst steel deck, and in a weekend in the Netherlands, I got together for some in-person games with teammates Justin Morales and Rob de Haan. And like I always enjoy like the in-person practice. I basically never practice online, as I find like just discussions at a table about decisions and strategies to be very useful. And after playing a couple of games, I found that the original deck that I started with was like good at challenging, but was lacking some ways to quickly quest for lore, and like had some problems like taking into the long game against Blurple. So to get a bit more like questing power, I just added some Timothy Q mouse and small Tinkerbells in there. And I had also always enjoyed like the Tinkerbell shift line in earlier formats, just because of the threat of activation is so powerful. And yeah, I put that in there as well. So then like in the middle of September, after that day of testing, I had this purple steel list, which already had some of the card choices that ultimately would end up in my Milwaukee list. And yeah, in testing it was just doing very well. I didn't really have any bad matchups in my results, right? Even though many players believed that Amethyst Sapphire would be a difficult matchup for Purple Steel. Yeah, I had an excellent record against Amethyst Sapphire, and my version could quest a bit more aggressively. And I also really enjoyed the deck's gameplay style. Just it almost takes me back into sort of sealed deck play. You're just curving out with characters, and it all comes down to knowing when to quest, when to challenge, what to ink, what role to take, and yeah, that sort of deck leaned into my strengths. So like as we then went into Bologna, because that basically that 1 day of in-person testing was yeah, the only real day I had in preparation before flying to Bologna. I brought yeah that original Amethyst Steel deck, but also packed an Ember Emerald Dogs deck, which
Okay.
I yeah wanted to try out. And then on the Friday before Bologna, like the dogs deck actually did so well in like a few practice games that I ended up switching to that. That's what I played in Bologna, and I thought it was yeah like a good choice for the metagame, but
Mm.
ultimately I did not really yeah, make it into the second day of competition.
Funny, just to
Um,
pause you there. It's funny, like a lot of the top names came to that exact same conclusion. People like Zanzayed, Zach Bivens, all like picking up dogs for this particular meta game. Could you like without going too deep? Although maybe you should. I've got Karsten here. If you want to go deep, you go as deep as you want. Why is that? Why
yeah,
was
well,
dog such a good meta call for Bologna?
the deck had like solid matchups against the most played decks in the field,
Hmm.
Blurple and Ember Steel, and I think it also had a bit of surprise value back then because it was not very popular and many opponents didn't really know how to play against it
Hmm.
or whether to play around under the sea, those kinds of advantages. And yeah, I think that's like a combination of the factors why yeah, White Dogs indeed also did very well in the tournament. But um, I didn't have ultimately the best results with it. I did feel like I enjoyed the gameplay of Purple Steel more, and I
Hmm.
also expected that dogs might get more poorly positioned for Milwaukee because, well, like the surprise value
Yeah.
would be lower, and also like people might adapt their decks or card choices more against it following the strong showing in Bologna. So then on the Sunday in Bologna, I decided to enter a side event and just brought this purple steel deck, which already like featured a whole bunch of one-offs, just to
As
give
always.
like a couple of examples and like illustrate why I have so many like weird numbers. Like in this original list, I had like I had like 10 one drops, four Diablo, four Captain Hook, one Palace Guard, and one Happy. And that is essentially like a balance between consistency and flexibility,
Sure.
right? I don't see a jumble of cards. I just see like okay, I have like 10 one drops. That's like the number I want to like consistently spend my ink on turn one and deploy a character. And then I run four copies of what I believe are like the best cards for consistency. But then for like the remaining slots, kind of the curve fillers, if there are cards that are let's say equally strong on average across matchups, but they may like have different valuations in different matchups or board states. I just like to split the copies for flexibility, and that's all because of the like the forgiving mulligan rule and the inking system in
Hmm.
Lorcana. It just allows you to like rebuild your deck as the game goes on. because like any time on turn one where you would say ink a palace guard to then play a palace guard, you are essentially losing out on some potential flexibility. Right? That Palace Guard may be great on turn one if the opponent is on, say, Ember Steel and opens with a Mulan. But if you were playing against a deck with a bunch of evasive characters, or if you want to set up for, I don't know, a Dumbo activation on turn five, I might rather play a Happy on turn one. And yeah, this is not a case where like one card is always better or worse than another. Like you're not going to see me, I don't know, like play 3 copies of a 3/3/4/2 and like 2 copies of a 3/2 vanilla for 2 when one card is like strictly better than another. But when there is like value in flexibility and cards are better or worse in different states. Yeah, with the inking system in Lorcana, I like to have options and just adapt to the game and the matchup with different cards every time. So that probably already like explains some of the
Sure.
philosophy.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like, if I'll be honest, like, just to pause you there, like, to be honest, like, that was kind of my thinking. I would say the first year of the game, like, or maybe they'll call it 6 to 9 months of. I liked basically similar to everything you've just explained there. Like in my deck building philosophy, I liked quote unquote toolboxes. I liked some ones, I liked some twos. I liked the idea of being adaptable to all the different matchups in format. And I think as time's gone on, and obviously I cover a lot of deck lists, and the vast majority of them do often look the same sort of way. And I think the majority of, some of the best performing players / content creators that are also avid players tends to just be, it's about seeing them when you want them though. Like this one Palace Guard, obviously Mulan, it's a perfect response. Basil against Blurple, it's the perfect one of how bad am I feeling if I don't see it on that turn one and instead I see one of the other one drops which maybe isn't as better, and then that Palace Guard later in the game is always strictly worse than say a fourth Diablo or potentially a higher count of Happy. What are your thoughts on that?
it's a balance,
Sure.
which is where you get sometimes these weird numbers. Um, I would not advocate playing like a deck with all 1/0s. Although actually I did that at the set 8 set
The Half
championship, so
the Halfen
just for
challenge.
fun.
The Halfen, did you?
Not just a Haufen challenge. There was like 61 offs.
Okay.
I wanted to give my favorite Emperor Steel deck a proper send off with some variety.
Of course. Okay, I have to ask you, Frank. Sorry, Ty, but I have to ask you because if I don't, this person will be very furious at me. Have you ever heard of heroic format?
No, that's new to me.
So shout out to Colour is Law. Honestly, I think she's going to be really glad I brought this up to you. It is a 100 card singleton format. But with some extra caveats. I think it's kind of based on Commander, although, again, I don't know what Commander is. I just hear about it a lot. I was never a Magic guy. But you get one character, one song. You get 3 cards of different types that you can put on like a storyboard, and you can play them as a resource as if they were from your hand. But the 100 card singleton, I think, would be absolutely up your street.
That would certainly be fun to try out. Yeah, it sounds indeed quite similar to Commander, which in Magic is often used as a multiplayer 4-player game.
Yeah, it's 4-player. Yeah, it's multiplayer. Yeah.
Yeah, like I generally enjoy the 2-player games
Sure.
a bit more,
Me too.
but there are also like dual Commander and perhaps also dual heroic possibilities. It might be a lot of fun to add that to the variety of ways to play Lorcana, because
Yeah.
there certainly are many ways to enjoy all these awesome cards.
100%. I'm a big fan of Illumineer's Quest. Anyway, you're welcome, Colour. Sorry to take you off base, but that just felt like a very real moment that I wanted to give some breath. Please do continue. You were discussing consistency over variety in the deck list.
Yeah, I mean when I look at cards in like a certain slot, like let's take the 2-drop slot for example, where I had like a mix of like Raja and Timothy Q Mouse and Calhoun and like Mr. Smee. I like when building the deck, I'm basically mentally or intuitively thinking about every card, assigning sort of a valuation in different situations.
Sure.
Let's say Timothy Q Mouse might be I don't know, a 9 out of 10 against Blurple on the play, but it might be, I don't know, like a 4 against Ember Steel on the draw, like a 7 in this matchup. And like I think about that way for like every card, and then combine that with, say, the some probability calculations on the likelihood of drawing multiple characters or like combinations of characters, and then you get into sort of a combinatorial problem where you want to optimize the distribution of of your 2-drops, given that you have like a certain amount of slots for the 2-drops for the curve, like optimize the exact assignments to cards to, I guess, maximize the expected maximum number of a 2-drop you would be able to play on turn 2 in any matchup, considering like all the different valuations and the likelihood of drawing multiples where you get this choice. And yeah, I don't know, then like I don't actually do like all the full calculations. It's more like a bit of intuition in deck building, but that's the underlying thought process that ultimately gets me into some of these numbers.
Yeah, it's super interesting because when you were playing and you put down one of the games that I casted for you, and you put down the Mr. Smee, and that sent me down a road of avenue, something that I've been talking about recently about. Obviously, as a villain enthusiast, I would always run Jafar or Vizier. But of course, I was discussing, hey, the Sapphire Steel players are using this because it's an ally that goes along with their scars. And I was saying that I think that because of that, I think Purple Steel decks should play Mr. Smee over Jafar or Vizier if they wanted to run one or the other. Just because if you can hide your purple cards for the first couple of turns, you leave the possibility on the table for your opponent to suspect that you might be a Sapphire Steel deck. I don't know how much that actually changes the way they would approach. I haven't given it that much thought, but just as a generalization. And as I was discussing all this and saying, oh, imagine maybe Mr. Frank Karsten agrees with me, and then you put down the scar, and it changed everything. I was like, okay, forget everything I just said. So, of course, I had to ask you about that. And to be honest, to lead into this, the vast majority of this, like, because I played Purple Steel at set championships this set, and it's funny because the first one I played, I had absolutely no reps. I'd been playing blue-green, and then I panic swapped to Purple Steel the night before because I was expecting a lot of aggro in the room I was going into. So I messaged Thiago and I was like, yo, got any last, just give me some bullet points. He sent me his guide. Very grateful for him. That helped a lot just to get a general overview. My only loss of the day in the set championships was to Blurple, which 2-0'd me. I was on the play and I had everything. I had 1, 2, 3, Genie, Strength. But they played Elephant and I kind of just panicked. And a couple of they just destroyed me is the complete and honest truth of you, Frank. But in the week between that event and my other set championship, I got to do 2 public ones. I actually did a coaching session with Thiago. He gave me 3 hours of his time. and we played 5 matches. And then the next week, I 2-0'd Blurple. So I already felt like, again, it still felt like a hard matchup, but I felt a lot more equipped to it, and it really spoke to, again, first of all, just getting reps. But let's be honest, reps with Thiago, one of, if not the best purple steel player in the world right now, has its advantages for sure. That being said, the uniqueness in like the curve, like having the options like 1 Mim, 1 Timothy Q, even the 2 Tinkerbell. Like I like Tinkerbell seems much better in the blue green for a start. Like there are options here that I could get on board with completely. The 2 that I was struggling to understand. One of them being the Scar, don't get me wrong, love it, but I would love to hear like your reasoning behind that. And more so, not a card that I'm questioning, the lack of a 4th dock. Those are my 2. I need you to explain it to me like I'm 10, Frank.
I gotcha. So, well, first of all, this to respond to your matchup of purple steel against sapphire amethyst. I was confident in that matchup, right? It might still be one of the most difficult ones, but it is certainly winnable. And Thiago is indeed a very sharp player, especially on purple steel, who I also talked quite a bit about on the list, and I definitely valued his suggestions and ideas. I think we were playing the deck in a pretty similar way, and that's that's also ultimately the best way to improve, right? By not just jamming a bunch of games, but to discuss the cards and the lines of play with someone who is perhaps better than you, or has like a lot of sharp insights to share to help refine your play. To come back to the card choices, Scar and Docs, they are actually somewhat intertwined, because originally my list had 4 copies of Doc and no Scar, as as is typical, I would say. But after like playing a bunch of games with it, I found that I sometimes lost to drawing multiple copies of Doc. It is just a little awkward where you just have to play one Doc as like an understated 1/3 for 2 that cannot be used as ink, or you have to discard it along the way. Doc is just a card with diminishing returns in your hand. You really want to draw one, but whenever you draw multiples, it will force you to make some awkward plays. And that's the type of card that is often better as a 3-off. Right, I'm playing 3 copies of Calhoun for effectively the same reason. Calhoun is just your best 2-drop on turn 2, and you are always happy to see and play it. But if you draw multiple copies, then you may be forced to squander some ink on turn 3, play your second Calhoun. Then you also don't have a singer for Strength of a Raging Fire, and it can always lead to some awkward draws. And this is just based on the mathematics of the likelihood of drawing at least one copy of a card versus the likelihood of drawing multiples. And because once you go from 3 to 4 copies of a card, that likelihood of drawing multiples, like it approximately doubles, like it suddenly shoots up. Whereas the difference in the likelihood between drawing at least one copy in the mid game is not as large as a general rule of thumb. For those cards that have diminishing returns that are uninkable, 3 copies may be the ideal number. However, I still wanted to have, like in those original 4 dock slots, 4 card draw characters to make sure that the deck had enough, gas in the mid game to keep drawing cards and like keep up the pressure. And yeah, that's where I tried out Scar. Like some team members had like shared some good results with that card, and in fact with Scar, the card draw ability is certainly powerful, right? When you sacrifice a Cobra to draw 5 and discard 2, that's pretty good deal. But also, perhaps it's not even the most important aspect of the card because the strength boost to allies and like most of the characters in the deck are allies. It's perhaps even more valuable because suddenly
Yes.
your Mr. Smee or your
I said this on
3/4
stream, so
genie
I'm
can
glad.
just take out like an opposing 2/4 genie.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, opponents never see it coming. You can set up these powerful plays that yeah can get you an edge. And anytime you would draw, and this happened to me several times over the course of the tournament in Milwaukee, you draw like one dock and one scar. You are typically happier than if I had drawn two docks
Sure,
instead.
sure.
So that's the theory behind that. And in that aspect, I do have to say that the theory behind one of inkables in this sense is a little different than the theory behind the one of uninkables.
Mhm.
Because you don't have like the flexibility of inking Scar. This was just a matter of like I want to attain like certain numbers of like effects in the deck while avoiding drawing multiples of like a specific card.
I love it. I lost my mind, Frank, when you threw this down. I absolutely lost my mind. So thanks for that. And yeah,
Happy to please the villain.
absolutely. And I'm very curious. I imagine you had some raised eyebrows throughout the day from opponents that probably thought they knew what list you were on by turn 3 or 4. And then you're dropping scars, you're shifting Tinkerbells, and yeah, I'd love to have been a fly on the wall for some of your matches, but no, super innovative again, and like I guess right at the end of this meta, right? Which is a question I want to ask you. Have you enjoyed set 9 Fabled meta overall? What are your thoughts on it?
So I never really think too much about that. I just take the format as it is
Sure.
and play it. But that said, if I compare it to the Steel Song deck that I won my very first DLC with back in 2024, I enjoyed the way that deck played,
Hmm.
and perhaps also like the way the matches went a bit more. I guess there were just like more powerful songs that
Sure.
opened up more interesting lines of play, and some of those songs were also like game altering in unique ways, like a whole new world, or I mean, as you would say, be prepared. Um, Whereas now many of the songs are more like a strength of a raging fire, or I draw some cards, but both players are still like normally, let's say, drawing one card a turn and like
Sure.
deploying some ink and a character every turn. And I enjoyed the larger, I guess, variety of effects and ways to like turn the game upside down
Hmm.
in 2024. But yeah, of course, with a rotation, the card pool diminishes a little bit, and I am excited to see how the upcoming sets are going to switch things around. In particular, for Whispers in the Well, there's like so many like extremely powerful cards and effects that are surely going to cause a complete upheaval of the metagame, and I do look forward to that.
Yeah, which actually goes into my next question. I don't want to get too deep into it, but if there was one card from Whispers in the Well that you are particularly excited for, what would it be?
Yeah, there's a lot.
You can mention a couple if
Then
you like, but I didn't want to put too much pressure on you to go too deep. But if there's at least one that you'd like to give a shout out to.
I'll have to go for a an overstated sort of vanilla character because
Okay.
that to me is like a big definition of what Whispers in the Well is changing, where all of a sudden we get like yeah, 3/3s for 2 with no downsides, like effectively 4/4s for 3, and so on, and it essentially like redefines the whole yeah, the whole baseline of the game. I'll just give a special shout out to Lexington. That's the 4/4 for 3
Yeah,
with alert and the
yeah.
gargoyle ability as like a good example of a card that you know, might just look harmless, but in a metagame where you want to answer like Genie Wish Fulfilled or Tiana Restaurant Owner, having a 4/4 on turn 3 that can do that will certainly switch some things around. And it also highlights the gargoyle ability, which I think is going to make for some interesting gameplay. It's not just on there, but on like many other cards, where suddenly Demona, the 6 drop, can yeah, like lock down the entire board. An opponent's You're welcome may give you more cards in hand,
Yeah.
which can certainly become an upside when there's gargoyles. And yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting new strategic angle to the game. And yeah, like Lexington combines all those aspects. But yeah, when I look at the new cards, I generally start with the, let's say, 1, 2, or 3 drops, or like the powerful songs, because yeah, constructed decks often have too many, let's say, powerful 4, 5, 6 drops anyway. So even though there are like a bunch of exciting ones, from the 6 cost Daisy Duck to the 6 cost the Mona, or like there's also the Gargoyle, or no, the Goliath is the name.
Yeah, the
The six,
5/5, and or the
yeah,
6, or the 6
the,
straight, the
the,
six
the
five that lets you draw the legendary one.
yeah, both actually.
Both are
Um,
interesting. Both is good.
yeah. But yeah, I would always first look at the early drops, because
Sure.
that's what constructed decks play the most and can make like the most impact, along with songs like He Hurled His Thunderbolt.
That's the one I was going to ask you
Yep.
about, because that does bring Amber Steel, another interesting song. I saw a couple of interesting lists. You know, again, heavy on the Singer 4 characters like the Troubadours and the Ursulas to sing this, and even playing the new Ariel, the Whisper, who you can boost, and if you sing a song, then you can draw a card. So a pretty interesting deck that looks like it's looking slightly similar to the Steel Song of old that you talk about. Obviously, there's a big difference when you don't have a whole new world. That's a very key piece, but certainly shades of an older Steel Song.
Yeah, it's exciting to get those options for deck building back again. And yeah, there's just too many cards to
Yeah,
mention.
I'm
But
sure you got a lot of cooking to
yeah,
do.
powerful top end gargoyles, a strong new song in Herald is Thunderbolt. Early game, all the vanilla characters get a stat boost, and who knows, perhaps the combo of, there's malicious, mean, and scary, with like the 9 cost
Prince
Prince
Philip.
Philip,
Yeah.
turning into effectively a one-sided Be Prepared, but only for the opponent. That may also enable some awesome deck building. So yeah, I can't wait to see what yeah, this new metagame is going to look like.
Good. Yeah, I think it's going to be the biggest shake-up since Rise of the Floodborn. I am so excited for how the next metagame is going to look, and lots of exciting things for you in general in the future, Frank. Obviously, you're a writer for the Disney Lorcana website now, which is fantastic. Some brilliant articles on there. I don't know if you can give us any teases of anything that might be coming up concerning more articles you might be doing, or indeed my question as a whole, what's next for you? Are you planning on doing the Richmond DLC? And also kind of speaking to what it's like to be working so closely with Disney now. Again, you're writing for them. You're now a 2-time DLC champion. You're going to be going back to the World Championships. From our prior conversations, I know that you have an affection for Disney for a long time. So yeah, basically, what's next? What sort of teases can you give me and the audience as to things that we can expect from you? And then yeah, what's life like at the moment working so closely with Disney, which will then take us in to the game portion of our interview, Glimmer Island.
So in terms of like first of all upcoming articles, I was originally slated to write a post DLC Milwaukee recap article, and I had expected, like I'm just gonna play this tournament, but I'm probably not gonna do all that well. So once I'm out of contention, I'll just gather up the deck list, write up the different stories.
And you
Yeah,
came to me and asked, "Hey, I think I'm probably going to be out soon. Can I come backstage and get some photos and stuff so I can speak to the validity of that statement?" Sorry to cut you off, Frank.
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it's true. I never expected to like find myself in the finals. Like, I tried to do my best with my deck and like playing well, but I was also quite fortunate in some matches where the luck was on my side. But yeah, I had expected to like interview the winner and write up an article about that, but it's gonna be a little awkward to do an article where I congratulate myself or quote myself. So Rebecca is now taking that
Cool.
over,
Cool.
while I was writing a Whispers in the Well pre-release guide with some tips for players starting with a seal deck event at their local store in the pre-release weekend, as well as some of my early like core constructed deck list ideas with some explanations on the most exciting cards and
Awesome.
possibilities to come out of the new set. Later on, I may also do additional articles on on the metagame in a month or so, and I hope that in 2026 I might start on a series that focuses more on the fundamentals of the game,
Awesome.
the gameplay strategies that brought me success in just trying to um, like teach players how to get better at Disney Lorcana and appreciate the strategic depth that is present in the game. It is very exciting to be doing that for the official DisneyLorcana.com website. Um, I was asked to do that because I had been writing for like Magic the Gathering,
Sure.
such articles for decades by now, and I will say that that is also where a lot of my passion lies, trying to share my ideas and analysis in an attempt to provide valuable insights and make it more fun to play the game. Um, Especially when I genuinely enjoy the Disney IP that is behind it. As for tournaments, I am effectively splitting my time between different games, and within Magic the Gathering, I also have a role in in event coverage, from metagame and deck analysis to setting up all kinds of things behind the scenes at live streams of events. So I won't be at the next few DLCs, most likely because they overlap with
Sure.
like European Magic events. at the same time, I mean, I already have my main prize of the World Championship invite, so there's
That
I
must be a
really locked
relief
that
then.
one up.
That must be a relief then if you knew you couldn't do the
Yeah.
next few events because of scheduling conflicts, and obviously there are less opportunities to qualify this year, as far as we know. So that must be a relief to get that box ticked.
Yes, for sure. This was maybe my yeah, like my one opportunity, and
Sure.
I'm grateful that I managed to make the most of it. Um, but I will like I will surely still play some Lorcana along the way. I always enjoy doing some sealed deck tournaments whenever a new set comes out, and yeah, I'll be doing a CCQ in Utrecht in a week approximately, which will be with set 10 in the pre-release weekend. So exciting there. Um, and yeah, I'm already looking forward to the 2026 World Championship, where I
Absolutely.
hope to do better than last time. But one way or another, it's gonna be an amazing experience as it was, and yeah,
Yeah.
I look forward for the yeah for the next steps in the game.
Yeah, and I'm sure I speak for the community when I say we're glad that you got it done, especially if this was potentially your only opportunity, because we would love to see you at the World Championship. But as we come towards the end of our interview, Frank, I want to spend the last 5-10 minutes playing a little game with you. I've already pre-warned you what this is, and people that have been watching the channel. My last few interviews will know this is a new tradition on the channel, and now I would love to invite you, Mr. Frank Karsten, on a trip to Glimmer Island. So if you're not familiar with the way this works, you need to spend 1 week of your life in a Lorcana location. It must be a card. All of these choices you're about to make must be on a Lorcana card that exists. I need you to pick a location. You're going to be stuck there for 1 week. You are going to be joined by one Lorcana Glimmer, any character in the game. Now, preface, this Glimmer character that you pick can do all of the things that you would expect that Glimmer to be able to do. If you pick Peter Pan, he can fly. If you pick Maleficent, she can indeed blow fire. But there's no escaping the island. Peter Pan can't fly you away, and Maleficent can't burn it down. So you get one character to join you. You can have one Lorcana item to utilise in any way you like. And I will burn you onto a record player one Lorcana song for you to listen to, whether that be for party vibes or maybe something nice and relaxing to sleep to or to work to, whatever takes your fancy. So we'll start off with the location, and then you can do the others in any order that you see fit. So Mr. Frank Karsten, which location are you going to for Glimmer Island?
Yeah, this is a really fun question. So I gave it a bit of thought, and originally I thought, well, I would just love to spend some time at the Pride Lands, just basking in the beautiful nature, and listening to well, like It Means No Worries, Hakuna Matata, or Circle of Life. I actually like recently started a collection of just one enchanted per set, basically opting to collect the character or song or yeah, thing that speaks to me or that I have a history with, and those two were my choices for set 8 and 9. And yeah, I really like the Lion King, but I also have something else I love quite a lot, Disney related. So I'm going to switch an answer. Given
Okay.
that I basically grew up reading the Donald Duck comics in the Netherlands, and the Gyro Gearloose puzzle books. Yep, we had all those. Watching DuckTales on TV, it always brings me yeah like great memories, and yeah, I would love to spend a week with those characters that truly bring me back to my childhood.
Love it.
That I effectively spend so much time with, like reading in the weekly Donald Duck magazine. So my answer for the location would be MacDuck Manor,
Okay.
Scrooge's Mansion. Assuming that all those characters will be there for an awesome week.
If there was one character in particular that you're going to spend the majority of your time with, which one would it be?
I would go for Gyro Gear Loose.
I thought you would.
Could be Gyro Gear Loose, Gadget Whiz if we want a specific Lorcana card. In like the stories that I grew up with, he was always this incredible inventor, always coming up with the most unique, imaginative things that led to awesome adventures. And I would certainly be happy to pick his brain, spend some
Absolutely.
time, and maybe he can build me the most amazing inventions.
Love that.
I even like in my PhD thesis, right, on the math of probability theory and game theory. I even included a fictive conversation between Gyro Gearloose, Scrooge McDuck, and Turbo McQuack
Oh, that's so cool.
to just illustrate a mathematical theorem. And
That's
perhaps
awesome.
meeting those characters in real life might be awesome.
That's really, really cool. What a unique piece of Frank Karsten lore. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so you and Gyro I think you could teach him Lorcana, and he would have a wonderful time. I think Mr. Karsten and Mr. Gyro Gearloose, a bit of an OP team. So there's two more choices to make. I need a song out of you and an item, something that you're going to put to good use. What are they going to be?
Well, the item has to be the lucky dime, because if that would not be there, then Scrooge would certainly go nuts. Besides, it might bring me some good luck for my next Lorcana tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an easy pick. And yeah, for the song, like it has to be. We now actually get like two of them in Whispers in the Well. Might solve a mystery. Do you know the DuckTales theme song?
Might solve a mystery, while we write history, DuckTales, ooh.
Woohoo. Exactly. I could listen to that for an entire week.
Fantastic choices, DuckTales all around. Mr. Karsten, I hope you enjoy your week away. Mr. Karsten, thank you so much for your time. Time is the most valuable resource that we have, so I thank you for giving me some of yours, especially so close post Milwaukee and a lot on your schedule. Last thing I'd like to ask you, sir, is just any shout outs, any thank yous, any plugs. Please, the floor is yours.
Big thank you to all my teammates from World Class Cards for all their sharp insights, good company, and just being able to celebrate it. My victory together with them made it all the more special. Um, for content, I am writing on a mostly monthly basis for TCG Player. You can expect a limited tier guide on Whispers in the Well on soon. So check out my Lorcana content there, in addition to the Disney Lorcana webpage. And you can find me on Twitter at Karsten_Frank, or perhaps at the next Lorcana event. And thank you so much for having me, Baker. It's always a big pleasure, and I appreciate what you add to all the coverage streams. With I hope that Be Prepared will be reprinted, but I know you can put in any song.
I am very hopeful, Frank. Thank you so much. And to the people watching at home, there's going to be no outro, other than I give you the sounds of Frank Karsten and Lorcana Villain singing A Whole New World in Disney World.
On the magic carpet ride.
Oh, Frank.
All right. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you rest? Just let your heart decide. I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world. a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. Oh,